Hello everyone. You may wonder why I'm in a different room. Well, I'm visiting someone and I'm gonna have an appointment. So without further ado, I'm gonna ask myself a question, and I'm actually no, this is gonna be about this. Is the GameCube controller worth it by today's standards? Is it still worth it? Like, is it still worth emulation and all that? Or not? Let's find out. So, here we have the control stick. As you can tell that, it's got these traction pads over here, so your thumb doesn't slip off. Sorry, I just had to do that TH sound of it correctly, like it was just an accident. Anyway, so this is the control stick. Very responsive too, and one of the analog sticks that these days, perhaps one of the very first ones to not have a dead spot, despite that. I'm saying one of the perhaps the first, maybe the first. I know controllers these days, like even the Wii U GameCube, did not have dead spots on their analog sticks, but the GameCube controller obviously did not. Now, and I apologize for that camera thing. That was just, I don't know how that even happened, like why did it even happen in the first place, but oh well. So, next up you got is the control pad. So this actually kind of feels quite nice. You can easily slide it easily, and yeah, and it's a really good control pad. This is the usual plus type D-pad for these standards. It's not like that. It's obviously not like the one on that Xbox 360 and PS3 controller. If not, also PS2. I haven't used the PS2 that much. I think maybe the PS2 controller did not have a good directional pad. But for the PS3 controller, it was definitely horrible. I mean, first off, the directional buttons on the PS3 controller, they were really bad. Now, it was said that they were analog, at least on the PS2 controller. I'm pretty sure it was also for the PS3 controller. I almost find that very hard to believe, because you can't make a D-pad analog. Well, you can, but why would you? Anyway, obviously that PS3 controller D-pad felt horrible. This one doesn't. Really good control pad. Why control pad? Because that's what Nintendo calls it. And which is really fine, and that kind of makes a lot of sense. Obviously, you've got the C-stick. So, also feels quite nice. Even though, I haven't seen that many people complain about it. And, the one person that I know that did complain, is that, is Review USA. He didn't like the C-stick. He thought, and for him, his thumb slipped off. He thought that they should have made two of this control stick, this gray one here, where it doesn't feel bad at all. And he didn't like this one. He almost thought that this should have been an analog camera button. Though I was like, oh, seriously, no. And actually, I was like this, seriously, no. But either way, he didn't like this. Review Tech USA, and for Review Tech USA, this is his only complaint, by the way. Anyway, what about the buttons, you may ask? The buttons feel quite nice. As you can tell, A button, X button, Y button, B button. Now, one thing I hate is the layout of them. I mean, they should have made it like, at the diamond slash square look style arrangement. Like in Nintendo's other controllers, like the Super Nintendo controller and the Wii U controller, or something like that. Super Nintendo controller especially. This is pretty terrible. I mean, you can easily do this. I mean, Y and A, that's not too bad. But heading for B, I mean, this would actually. It's not that it wouldn't. It's not that it's uncomfortable or anything. It's just that the layout of them makes it means that you'd have a hard time sliding your thumb to it. Well, you wouldn't, but it wouldn't be very fluid. Despite that, it's almost arranged like the way the Genesis controller was, where I've tried it at Awesome Con before. I had to hop my thumb a lot, and so AVGN was right about saying that when he compared the Super Nintendo and Genesis. If you don't know what AVGN is called, Angry Video Game Nerd. He doesn't always do angry video game nerd videos. He also compared, obviously, the Super Nintendo Genesis in a not so angry looking review. So yeah, you got the start and select. You got the start/pause button Feels quite nice, very responsive, definitely indeed. What about these top buttons and triggers? Top button and triggers. Z button feels pretty nice, though. And also the triggers feel quite nice too. Also got this double press thing, which is kind of cool. Like let's say that you were charging the thing. Like let's say charge, bam. That would be kind of nice. So obviously they feel really nice at times. Though, what now, is it worth it for 2017? I don't know really, because there's no select button. That wouldn't be too much of a problem, you know, but for games that require it for quite a bit, except maybe that PS4 controller, maybe that wasn't too much of a big deal for them to get rid of that, like and replace it with a share button, or get rid of the share button and get rid of the select button and put a share button on it. That might not have been that bad of an issue, but maybe that wasn't too bad of an issue. But the sticks don't click in. And there's no Z button here. Like, there's no ZR and ZL. And, like I said, the sticks don't click in. Now, how urgent is that? That can be urgent for, like, first-person shooter games. Like, let's say, and especially for games that require slightly more buttons. Or a bit more buttons than how much this has. I mean, like, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, 7, 8, if those two count. So, it's not as bad as the Dreamcast controller. I mean, that had a lack of buttons, and it didn't have any bumpers, and it didn't have a right stick. Thankfully, so, yeah. So, this doesn't work too bad, though it's probably not worth it, unless if it had a left bumper or anything, like those GameCube controller designed classic controllers. So what about emulation? For NES, emulation works pretty good, except that you had to use the Z button as the select button. And 64 emulation, that did not work very bad at all. I mean, it just really didn't. I mean, you had C stick and C button, which made a lot of sense. And you've got Z button there as the Z button as the L button pretty much. L and R, obviously Z and R, like, so that would definitely do a great feel to it. I mean, that would definitely help a lot. Like, so yeah, that kind of makes a lot of sense. But for Super Nintendo emulation, this does not work very well for that. I mean, you obviously got your Z button and select button, which I'm pretty sure is true, but because of the layout of the A, B, X, and Y buttons, like, let's say if you play, like, Super Star Wars, I don't really have it on Virtual Console, but what if you're playing that? Because the B button is jump on that game, and Y attack, and A switch weapons, you're gonna have an awkward time. In fact, I don't even know if this works on Virtual Console for the Wii U. I know it works on Virtual Console for the Wii, but I haven't tested on the Wii Virtual Console yet. So, and listen, guys, I know Virtual Console is where you can use this controller, but it's not going to work entirely well. So, this controller definitely the best of the three controllers of a generation. The other two being PS2 and Xbox controllers. So this is better than those other two, but it has a flaw on its own. So, what do you think of the GameCube controller? Do you think it could have been done better? Do you think it's perfect? I don't think it's perfect, but do you like it, or do you have one? How many games do you use it for? Either way, so currently this phone is overheating right now, which is probably because I'm recording this in 60 frames per second. So, what are your thoughts? Do you think the GameCube controller could have been better, or do you think it's perfect? Or how much do you enjoy it? Anyway, guys, peace out.